or to what you think you may want to make. So, for example, if you're doing brief one, you may look at some shows from E4 or some factual stuff like, made in Chelsea or educating Yorkshire, etc., etc. If you are doing brief 2, you may look at, like, if you're doing cookery, a cookery program or a sports program or something like that. And if you're doing brief 3, then you may look at some sort of music acts or something like this. All the stuff you need for this, okay, this assignment is in assignment 2. So what you'll find in there is the video that you're watching now. You'll also find some text in here about what you need to do. Please definitely take note of this here. Do not write too much, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that as I go through the video. And then some things which explain in a bit more detail what you need to do. The key document in this section here is this one here, which is Research into Text 2014. Now this is a writing framework for you to help you, for those that struggle with this. And what you can do is you can use this and it gives you some hints. I'm going to go through this in a second with you. You'll also find in here some examples of print research, broadcast research, e-media research. You'll find some brief 1 examples of print products, some brief 3 examples of print products, and you'll find some brief 2 examples of print products which I need to add on here for you, but they'll be there by the time you start. There's some website examples for MESS 2 as well, so this will help you to look through various things to see what people have done. What you'll also find is actual examples of the research. So in the bottom 4 documents here, what you've got is you've got an example of print and broadcast for brief 1, which is a very good example, which got 100%. You've got an example of e-media for brief 2, which got an A, an example of print and e-media for the old brief 3, which got an A, 100%, and you've got here another one which is an example of print for brief 2, which again got an A. So I've given you all A examples for you to look at when you're doing this. By the way, don't try and take one of these documents and use it and just change it slightly, because it will pick up, because I do have a plagiarism checker fitted to work when you submit work. So let's just go through this assignment and I'll show you what you need to do. So what you need to do to start with is open this Research into Text 2014, and it comes up with, not with that, it could come up with that. Let's just find it. It comes up with this. Okay, now, I do not want more than 4 to 6 pages in total for all of your research. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to be precise. You need to be and you need to be concise with the information that you're giving me. I don't want a 20-page document to look through, because we only submit between 8 to 10 pages of pre-production for everything that you're going to do to the exam board. So there's no point in giving me 20 pages, because I'm not going to give that to the exam board. I'm probably going to give 2 to 3 pages maximum, which I think is displaying your best work. Okay. So if you're doing brief 1, you will do this. You will do only for the tasks that you have chosen to work on. So remember, if you're doing broadcast and print, okay, you only do these sections here. For brief 2, you'll do this, and for brief 3, you'll do this. Okay. Remember, it needs to be precise. We're looking at maybe, I don't know, 1.5 pages per opening sequence. Okay, or 1.5 pages per different print advertisements. So you need to be really concise. So what you're going to do basically is you're going to analyse these texts, and what you want to make sure you do before you do this is you pick texts which are similar to the idea that you've got. So if you do something for E4 and you're thinking, oh, I really want to make a show for E4, then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that some of these texts are E4 shows, or if you're going to make a thriller, like a program like, I don't know, Breaking Bad or Educating Yorkshire, then you need to make sure that you're showing that your research links into Educating Yorkshire or Breaking Bad. Okay, there's no point doing some research on sports if you're going to do a factual drama, because I'm going to make you do it again. So stick to the genre that you've picked. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is this. Okay, you're going to describe the product. So what is the product that you picked? You're going to give me a bit of information about the genre, the narrative, what it's about, codes and conventions, etc., etc. Then you tell me who the target audience is, and I want the primary and the secondary audience. Okay, so I want something to do with what ages are they, what genders are they. Can you tell me about the demographics? Can you tell me about their psychographics? Can you tell me about uses and gratifications, etc., etc.? And I want primary and secondary audience. And some of you may even give me a tertiary audience, and if you do, that'd be brilliant. Okay, then you're going to describe the individual elements of the product. So see this section here for that. Okay, tell me about the scene maybe that you picked, or the page, or the article. Okay, put a screen print in there of the scene, the page, or the article. And then you're basically going to tell me about the important things within there. So tell me about the important elements of the product. Tell me about the representations which we've got. You know, how does it tell us about a certain character or a certain aspect? Tell us about, specifically tell me how it appeals to the audience. What is it that grabs the audience, that engages them with the text? And then finally tell me about what you'd like to incorporate into the text. What did you like from this that you think is appropriate for your work? And you're going to do a similar thing for this, okay, for each of, say, for 2 opening sequences, 2 different advertising campaigns, or whatever you chose to follow for the other briefs. Okay?